amidst pandemic. Breaking connections to the world. Empowering language on humanity. Let's bring the world of learning in one channel. Welcome to Visitors Combinations English TV.
Hello everyone! Again, this is Ma'am Siv, your grade 7 English teacher. I'm glad to meet you all again in our English Learning Hub. And welcome to Week 8 of Quarter 3. If you remember well, we learned to cite evidences when expressing our ideas in the CALM and DOWN strategies, or the calm and down strategies. With that, we realized that the only good reason to believe anything is that it must be sufficient with evidences. So, whether we are telling a story or engaging ourselves in a discussion, let us remember that everything we say is always subject for evaluation, because the only moral way to acquire belief is on the basis of sufficient evidence.
Hello everyone! Again, I am Ma'am Aline, your grade 7 English teacher. How is everyone? I do hope that you are all doing well. Brace yourselves because we are already on the last week of Quarter 3. Time flies fast, but wait! Have you checked your answer sheets? Is everything nice and okay for submission? All good? Now, let's talk about citing evidences and making reactions. For example, when a ship sank, will its owner be charged guilty? Yes or no? Because the ship owner sold tickets to passenger, especially he acted as if he has no doubt that the ship is worthy the journey. Even he has doubt, he chooses not to act on those doubts, but rather act on his belief. Whether the ship owner is guilty or not guilty, sufficient evidences should be presented to prove any claim. Evidence is important to prove or disprove certain facts that would show whether something is true or not true. For week 8, we are going to talk about raising thought-provoking questions in public forums or panel discussions. For most essential learning competency, we have raise sensible, challenging, thought-provoking questions in public forums or panel discussion, and many more. For our enabling competency, we have express ideas and opinions based on the text listened to.
Day 1. Look at the illustration below. What have you observed? Have you experienced discussing a topic or an issue with someone before? How did you do it? Now, take a look at the sample discussion. Is Facebook a public forum? People have freely and openly expressed and discussed their ideas and opinions in Facebook. Are they allowed to do that if it's not a public forum? It is a forum where you can express your ideas and opinion to the public and invite discussion, but to a certain limit. When you created your account, it is indicated in terms of service and data policy that Facebook is not a public forum. No, it isn't. Companies like Facebook and Twitter are privately owned. Social media is not a public forum. So, grade 7, as you can see, there are views and opinions that the 4 speakers have presented. The illustration shows a panel discussion where a group of people discuss a subject in front of an audience. This type of discussion normally includes a moderator who is in charge of guiding the panelists or group of experts in answering important questions and share insights about certain issues. Panel discussion happens in television shows or academic conferences where the audience is supposed to listen to every speaker and only ask questions when the moderator directs them to do so. On the other hand, Public forum, also called open forum, is a situation in which people may discuss about an issue or a topic of public interest. It is where the people are free to express their thoughts or ideas. This means that the audience in this gathering will take part in a conversation about a specific subject or issue. How do you ask questions in a forum or panel discussion? Are you able to send out your voice in a thought-provoking manner that leads to discussions? Now that you know about the difference between panel discussion and public forum, it is also important that you are aware of the heart of the quality discussion questions.
Here are the kinds of thought-provoking questions. It's like the key to powerful thinking is powerful questioning. Yes, it is. There are times and places that requires thought-provoking questions for deeper and more meaningful communication. Thought-provoking questions can be about problem-solving process, compare and contrast, interpretive, evaluative, conceptual changes, personal exploration, and moral or ethical dilemmas. So we have the first kind of question. We have the problem-solving process. Or it is questions that make the other person assess, diagnose, and think of a possible action. Like for example, what is the issue or problem at hand? It is talking about the assess or you are assessing. The second one is we have what is the root cause of this issue or problem? You need to diagnose, so you are looking for the cause or the reason why the problem occurred. The third one is how can we solve the issue? Think of a possible action. So in solving the issue itself. The second type or kind is compare and contrast. It is a type of questions about similarities and differences between ideas. For example, what are the differences between traditional media and a social media? On the left side, we have the tropical fruit with thick peel, which is from India. And the second one is we have the subtropical fruit with thin peel from Kazakhstan. But then, if you are going to compare these two fruits, they can be both juice and they both grow on the trees. Next, we have the kind of question, the interpretive or evaluative. This type of questions is about the intentions or goals of the author, creator, character, and many more. For example, what is the purpose of the author in writing the story? So we have the other words for interpretative. We have A. So the first one is interpretive, and we have expository, explicative, explanatory, elucidative, illustrative, expositive, and the last one is explicatory. So we have the next kind. We have the conceptual changes. It is a type of questions which based on the self-reflection, encourage to express opinion about the subject or the question. Like for example, which do you think is better? And to self-reflect and express yourself, you must adapt to changes, especially in ever-changing time. Next, we have the personal exploration. It is a questions based on one's personal idea or exploration, encourage personal connection with the subject of the question. Like for example, we have how important is a flower to you? So this is the type of questions which identify who are you or do you know what you want. It's like you are exploring on your self-experience. Next, we have the moral or ethical dilemmas. It is a type of questions that make the other person think whether something is morally or ethically correct. Is it okay to let another person answer your module for you? Why or why not? So the answer of these questions reflect the ethics, respect, integrity, honesty that you have.
For day 2, learning task 1. Identify the kind of thought-provoking question presented in each number. Choose your answer from the box below and write it on your paper. You will choose from problem-solving process, compare and contrast, interpretive to evaluative, conceptual changes, personal exploration, and moral or ethical dilemmas. Remember these words because these are the answer to each item. Number 1, what is the purpose of writing fake news on Facebook? What type of question is this? Number 2, what would you do if someone openly criticized you on Facebook? What kind of question is this? Number 3, what is the difference between constructive criticism and bullying on a Facebook? Number 4, is it ethical to express and pour out your anger over someone on Facebook where everyone can read them? Number 5, how can we be responsible and wise social media users? Learning task 2. Match column A with column B to create a thought-provoking question. Write your answers on your paper. You are going to write the complete thought-provoking question on your paper. Column A, what do you feel? That's for number 1. Number 2, which do you think is better? Number 3, what can you do? Number 4, what is the difference? And number 5, what is the purpose? In column B, you can see the phrases that you can combine with the phrases in column A. Letter A, to be rich or to be intelligent. B, between ignorance and indolence. C, to solve the problem. D, when you see a rainbow. And E, of the speaker. Day 3. Remember, traditionally, a public forum is a place where people can express their ideas and opinion for everyone to hear without fear of being punished by the government or those who do not agree with them. A place where they can freely use their voice to share knowledge or express what is on their mind. When opportunity comes for you to use your voice in a public forum, always keep in mind to do it responsibly. Learning task number 4. For your final task, listen to a panel discussion and imagine you are part of the audience. Then, prepare 6 questions for the panelists by using the question frames below. What is the purpose of? Number 2, what would you do if? Number 3, what is the difference between? Number 4, is it correct to? Number 5, what can you do to? And number 6, do you think it is better if? Grade 7, remember that these question starters can be completed by using the information from the panel discussion that you are about to read. If you have a way to connect to internet, listen to panel discussion by visiting this link. If internet is not available, read the transcript below. Are you ready? Let's start.
Good day everyone, I'm Carl David Bachiller, and the topic of our discussion for today is about the rights of the Filipinos in the West Philippine Sea. We have with us our Elisha J. Sevilla, Raisa Garcia, and James Howard Kabingan. Please introduce yourself and give us an introduction about our topic for today.
Hello, I am Elisha J. Sevilla. I am a social studies student studying history. West Philippine Sea is the sea on the western side of the Philippines, 212 nautical miles from our territorial baseline. That concludes the territorial sea and their exclusive economic zone. Its boundary is the South China Sea, which means that West Philippine Sea and South China Sea is not one and not the same. They are two different bodies of water.
Hello, I'm Raisa Garcia. I'm a social studies student studying contemporary issues. According to United Nations Conventions on the Law of the Sea, which is an international law which applies in the bodies of water all around the world, the Philippines has the right to explore, use, and manage the natural resources, whether living or non-living within our exclusive economic zone in the West Philippine Sea. We have the exclusive right to construct, to authorize construction, and to control construction of structure within our exclusive economic zone.
Hello, I'm James Howard. I'm a grade 7 science student. 12% of the world's annual catch is from the West Philippine Sea and South China Sea. This is also the source of livelihood of thousands of Filipino fishermen. The West Philippine Sea is also rich in natural gas, which can be used as fuel. The West Philippine Sea is very important to all the Filipinos. It is the source of life for millions of Filipinos, and the answer to our long-time problem, which is the source of energy for electricity.
China said that it has historical claim over South China Sea and West Philippine Sea, and the whole world appears to be believing in their historical narratives that they own the South China Sea since 2,000 years ago. What is real and what is not from this historical narrative?
China is a very old civilization. That is why it is easy for them to make their own people believe, as well as the world, that it is possibly true. So, the Philippines representative during the South China arbitration make it a point to clarify the issue once and for all. And they did. We won that issue.
We won on that arbitration, but still, many of the features of the West Philippine Sea is occupied by China. One of the notable incidents is what they did to Panganiban Reef, also called as Mischief Reef. What is the significance of that incident?
That is only one of the many islands that China occupied. First and foremost, the Philippines remains to be the one who has the sovereign rights over Mischief Reef, and we must never give up on that. Right now, it has become artificial island, but originally it is a low-tide feature. It doesn't have a territorial sea, it doesn't have an exclusive economic zone, and it is part of our continental shelves. The right to build structures over that rock belongs to the Philippines.
Whenever China built infrastructures on those rocks, they cause permanent and irreparable harm to the coral reef ecosystem. It is home to 34% of the world's coral reef. The South China Sea is a birthplace and cradle of marine life.
Day 4. It takes a lot of practice to be able to discuss certain issues in a public forum or panel discussions. Thus, to have a quality discussion, the most important thing to prepare are the right questions, thought-provoking questions. Once again, let us go through the different kinds of thought-provoking questions. Again, as we have learned, there are 6 kinds of thought-provoking questions. The first one is problem-solving process. In problem-solving process, we need to assess, diagnose, and act. Example of assess: what is the issue or problem at hand? To diagnose: what is the root cause of this issue or problem? To act: how can we solve the issue? second kind of thought-provoking question is compare and contrast. Example, what are the differences between traditional media and social media? The third kind of thought-provoking question is the interpretive or evaluative question. For example, what is the purpose of the author in writing the story? Next one is the conceptual change. For example, which do you think is better? Next, we have personal exploration. For example, how important is the flower to you? And last but not the least, we have the moral or ethical dilemmas. Example of this type of question, is it okay to let another person answer your module for you? Why or why not? Learning Task 5. Answer the following questions on your paper. Grade 7, remember that there's no need for you to copy the questions. You are only to write the answers on your paper. Write the letter only. Number 1, complete the sentence to form an interpretive to evaluative question. What is the intention of? What phrase will complete this question? Letter A, has 7 colors. B, the sun for shining. C, the author for writing the legends of the rainbow.
2. Which of the following questions is about personal exploration? A. What does Land of Bondage, Land of the Free want to achieve? B. How would you react if someone indirectly attacked you on Facebook? C. What can be done to minimize fake news on Facebook? Number 3. Complete the sentence to form a compare and contrast question. Which do you think is better? A. Since I don't like fighting. B. I will delete my account and make another. C. To block the account or report the malicious post directed towards you. 4. Complete the following sentence to form a question about moral or ethical dilemma. 4. Complete the following sentence to form a questions about moral or ethical dilemma. Is it okay to A. Wear a pink dress? B. Eat ice cream in the morning? C. Create multiple accounts on Facebook? 5. Which of the following question is about conceptual change? A. If you were an encomendero during the Spanish time, would you be able to give up half of your land for your poor tenants? B. What have changed in the life of the poor land tillers from Spanish time until now? C. Wouldn't it be better to create alternative work opportunity for farmers? This lesson is taken from the 6 types of questions to improve classroom discussions, year 2021, March 15, from Parlay Ideas. You can also check the link given.
Congratulations! You have successfully go through week 8 of quarter 3. But wait! Quarter 3 is not yet over. You can use your time to review your answers and make sure that you did not leave any task unanswered from week 1 up to week 8. Then, wait for the announcement of the submission of your learning activity sheets.
And lastly, don't forget to hit subscribe and like our videos. You can also share this video so that others can also watch and learn.
Please stay tuned for videos coming up for quarter 4.
Just relax and take your time.
Bye!
See you in our next session. Happy learning!